Give me something on the Padres. Let's start there, because I think each club is fascinating. San Diego.
Padres' only shot is the wild card, leaving last season's wild card, perhaps aberration or divisional series aberration against the Dodgers aside. They have lost 28 of their last 34 regular season games head-to-head against the Dodgers. When you look at that foursome that you put up there, the Astros and the Guardians have a chance to win their respective divisions. The Mets and the Padres only have a wild card shot because of the Braves and the Dodgers.
Seemingly.
Yeah.
Seemingly. I mean, but we thought there was a window, right? And look, like the Braves weren't that great out of the gate, and they got off to a better start. Dodgers definitely stumbled, and the Dodgers took seemingly, from a front office standpoint, said, hey, let's take the foot off the accelerator a bit. That's what I think is stunning, that they're still so far ahead.
Maybe the conventional wisdom goes to save some money, even the Dodgers saving a little bit of money for the $500 million they may have to lay out for Shohei Ohtani.
Right. No, they're always looking 3 to 5 years ahead. I want to take, give me a take first on the Padres.
Well, they lack grit. I don't disagree with Bob Melvin. They lack tenacity. They lack grit. There's something missing in this mix of players that are there. They're hitting 198 with runners in scoring position, the worst in all of baseball right now. So they're getting some guys on. They don't get them in. Juan Soto's, has some good numbers recently, but it's a little bit soft. Even Xander Bogaerts, who got off to the great start, is really struggling with runners in scoring position. They're the worst team in baseball with runners in scoring position. That means they get guys on. They can't come up with a big base hit, and you look lethargic. I know this because I had teams that didn't hit. And when you don't hit, you don't get any movement on the bases. You look lethargic. Cronenworth has grit. Ha-Seong Kim has grit.
Grisham has
some grit. Manny Machado's smooth and easy the way that he plays. Even Xander Bogaerts isn't the grittiest guy in the world, and Soto's not. They don't have that certain fire, and I watch Bob Melvin. He's getting more and more frustrated. He's barking at umpires, begging for pitches, because I think he's looking at it thinking, this thing's spinning on me right now, and I don't know how to get out of this. Somebody's got to turn it around. Machado, I think, is the leader that's got to get it going.
Right. Now, he hasn't hit, but he's one guy, and he's hit for, 10 straight years. So you got to go easy on him. But there's something not happening. Let's go to the quotes that we have here from Bob Melvin, what he had to say, because Bob is also considered a top 5 manager, and some have him number 1. And after losing to the Twins, I don't think there's enough tenacity throughout the course of a game. We show signs of it. We show spurts of it. We come out like we should, and then we don't sustain it for the entire game. That's the problem. Then they go off and they get swept by the Dodgers. I'll say this. I watched a ton of Padres baseball last year where it was Kim, Profar, Grisham constantly battling. Every pitch, every bat. They were gritty. I think they got supplanted by the big guys that they got at the trade deadline with Soto, Drury, Bell, plopped them right in the middle of that lineup.
Then add Bogaerts.
And now Bogaerts. And so those guys
who are
smaller guys who were actually, last year, at one point, where were they? The Padres last year, without those big guys, were 41-24 in mid-June. Here they're the standing. They led the Dodgers, Bob. So that little Padres unit that's kind of like got shoved aside, that was a good ball club.
Yeah, and here's the thing I would say about Melvin's reaction. He is not a volatile guy.
No.
He is an even-keel guy.
Right.
If he says that, that's a considered opinion.
Right. So here's another guy who's even-keeled but pointed, Buck Showalter. The Mets, Steve, were so impressive last year from the start. That's what I'm saying. It's not just the money. They were an excellent ball club last year. It's weird to see them stumble now.
Well, at one point, they've lost 80% of their starting rotation. Kodai Senga's the only starter that's made every start in that rotation so far. So that alone, you've got lesser starters stepping into that rotation. Even DeGrom was out last year, and they still won a lot of games. They're also not scoring. They, too, are not hitting with runners in scoring position. They aren't driving in runs. They aren't coming up with the clutch hits. There's very little margin for error. And when you've got lesser pitchers in the rotation, you've got to try to score some runs and take pressure off them. The bullpen's been good. Look, the loss of Diaz, they're closing out games. David Robertson's done a nice job. Now, they don't have as much depth there, but Ottavino and Raley have been good. This is a team that has lost their starting pitching. I think when they get healthy, I feel better about their chances to get going. For the Padres, they've got the cast of characters who have been there. They're just underperforming.
Right. Do the Mets regret not bringing Bassett back? Doing very well for the Blue Jays.
Such a predictable guy. Yeah, such a predictable guy.
Yeah. Probably. And they had a lot of choices. Taijuan Walker also left.
Yep.
But, signing Verlander after last year, I can't beef about that, Bob. It's a 1.75 ERA
Right.
for 175 innings. Come on.
Plus, essentially, it's an exchange for DeGrom, and even with the difference in age, you figure that Verlander will take the ball, given history, more often than DeGrom will.
Let's look at the odds if we can. And we're going to ask you the question, like, who do you think? Because I put it on the line today when you see it. Here are the odds to make the postseason. Right. I'm thinking the Astros are still going to be fine. Padres, those odds are a little higher than I thought. I mean, making the playoffs, yeah, maybe it's 65%. Mets are down there. The Guardians at 22%, even in that division. I mean, the Twins are a little better now.
No, it's not about that division. It's about the American League East, where you've got 5 teams all over 500 right now. And I think that's the challenge for the Guardians. They get good pitching, but they need to score enough, and they're just not doing it.
They have to win the division. There's no wild card entry point for the Guardians.
Probably
You got to beat the Twins, right?
Yeah, you got to beat the Twins.
The Twins are a little better. Rotation's good, but you just have to beat the Twins.